Hey guys, hey guys, hey guys, hey guys. I see you are ready for this live. I see you are very early, Marsha. Very early. They say early bird catch the most work. Diane, I see you are early as well. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Nordia Thomas. Good evening, Nicolette Hoylett. Evening, Fola Lee. All right, so we're gonna give the others a few more minutes to join. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, IG, and on TikTok. All right. So, guys, if you know somebody who might be interested in getting this information, go ahead and share this link. Our guest this evening will be talking about transitioning from your home country to teach in the United States. So, if you are going to be transitioning for a teaching position this upcoming summer 2024, you need to be on this live. And if you know someone who was offered a job opportunity to teach in the United States for the 24-25 school year, then you definitely need to share this link with them so that they too can learn about how the transitioning process is and what to expect as first year teachers, what to expect, what to do, what not to do. Hey, Michelle Smith Robinson. Hey, Devoni LaFleur. Good evening, guys. Welcome to today's live. For those of you who may be joining this platform for the first time, my name is Dr. Britton, and I share on this platform how you can get a teaching job here in the United States. So many information shared on this platform. If you are interested in finding a teaching job in the United States, then you definitely need to be a part of this community. So go ahead and subscribe, turn your notification bells on, and don't forget to like this live, guys, because I'm sure it's going to be a blessing to most of us. Hey, Faye McDonald and Leo Thomas. I see a lot of Thomas this evening and Northern Thomas. Yeah, the Thomas family out. All right, a few minutes more, we're going to begin, guys. A few minutes more, we're going to begin. So we're going to start while we wait, or while I start, the others will keep coming in. But we're going to go straight into it. I'm going to introduce to you our guest today. She is Dr. Nordia Thomas. Uh, Dr. Thomas is a culturally responsive educator who hails from the beautiful island of Jamaica. Her alma mater includes Holy Family Primary, Calabar Infant and Junior High, and Kingston Technical High School. Her teaching experience started at St. Aloysius Primary. I'm not sure why I've not seen her there before because both my kids went to St. Aloysius Primary. Other schools were Other schools where Dr. Thomas has taught include Creative Kids, Windward Ward Primary, and Calabar Infant Primary and Junior High. So Dr. Thomas spent 7 years as an elementary teacher in the Cayman Islands. Look here. You're getting the best of both worlds, guys, not just in the United States, but also experiences from the Cayman Islands. In 2017, she and her family migrated to the USA. Dr. Thomas has taught at 4 different schools in the USA. In 2019, she received the North Carolina Forestry Essay Award. In that same year, she received a bonus for reading growth. Dr. Thomas is a two-time recipient of the Veterans of Foreign War Teacher of the Year. She's a proud graduate of Shortwood Teachers College, the University of West Indies Mona, the University of Miami, and the American College of Education. Dr. Thomas obtained a doctorate in curriculum and instruction in 2023. She is happily married to Leo Thomas. Their union produced two God blessed children, Tajane and Tajon. Hopefully, I said that properly. Their union produced, yes, please help me welcome our passionate Dr. Nordia Andrea Thomas, who's excited to be with us today to share her experience.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Britton.
You are welcome, guys. Go ahead and welcome Dr. Thomas in the comment section. I'll also show your appreciation. Go ahead and like this video and share. We know others need this information. Welcome, Dr. Thomas. How are you doing today?
Great. I'm doing well. I thank you, Dr. Britton, for this opportunity. Before you even ask me any question or I start, let me just big you up. Let me tell you something. You are a notch above the rest, right? You do the research and then we just bask in the knowledge. I have personally benefited from your program. But just rewind and me pause and some writing the things that we need and we go back. Listen, you're God bless. In 2024, we don't find a lot of persons who are willing to share. And you have shared, you have guided us. The last thing I'll say before I turn it back to you, your website is user friendly, girl. And what you charge, I don't call it a charge, it's a contribution. I mean, I go book
Right.
sessions to have a little one-on-one with you. But let me tell you something, you're a gift to mankind. You are a gift, and I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nadia. Thank you very much for that. So today we're here with you to tell us, or enlighten or aspiring or teachers who got a job for this summer, what is it that they should expect coming here as a first year teacher, as well as the transitioning process? But before we go into that, we have to talk a little bit first. So, can you tell us, was it always your dream? I see that you have gotten Teacher of the Year twice. You have taught in four different schools in the United States. You've also worked in Cayman Islands. This sounds to me like somebody who wanted to be a teacher ever since she was a little girl. So, give us the background. Is it something that you always wanted to do, or is it something that just fell in your lap?
Let me tell you something, Dr. Britton. Always. I did an interview the other day and I shared a little of it with them. I remember as a little girl, I would go before the dresser. I would teach the Johnson baby powder. I would teach the cologne. And when I beat them, because in Jamaica, you have to put a little beating and put here. You have to deal with them. Like how the
Yes,
Bible said it. The Bible said, train the child and do not spare the rod and spoil the child. So me beat all the
right,
powder. I used to go on the rooftop, right? I'm from downtown Kingston. So the roof was, easy to climb. I climb up. I'm going to lick off every leaf off every tree, Then I know it in two times. Let's go. So I always want to be a teacher. But at college, at high school, I did business. I didn't know what route to take. Like how these days, they do career day. And if you're going to be a primary
yes,
teacher, you do da 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 da. I didn't know. So I went through the business world first in terms of the subjects. And then I taught for 1 year, and then I applied to Shortwood because the application closed. I didn't know you had to apply a year before. But these children know 2024, and 21st century children, they know you apply for college 2 years before, the year before, all that.
right, right, right. So good. So, you say you taught in Jamaica and also in Cayman. What motivated you to get an experience outside of your home country, Jamaica? First, let's talk about Cayman, and then the motivation for the United States.
Right. For Cayman, it wasn't my choice. I went through a devastating experience. My mother was murdered, and I had two teenage siblings. I was the third girl, and I had two teenage siblings. One was 14 and the other one was 15. So it was a teacher at Windward Road Primary School who saw the advertisement in the Observer. It was the Gleaner. And she cut it out, took it to school, and she said, "You're young and you just lost your mother. You have siblings to take care of. Try this." I didn't know where
Yes.
Cayman was. And I just took the opportunity. I prayed about it, and I chose Cayman. I had applied for it was 2001 when a lot of opportunities were coming up for New York and England, but I prayed and God led me to Cayman, and that's why
Okay.
I was in Cayman, right?
Okay, good, good, good. But then you transitioned to the United States. What
Right.
motivated you to?
I stayed in Cayman for 7 years, and then I went back home. I was nostalgic, and I went back home. And while I was in Cayman, I taught at the Cayman Theological Institute. I was the head of the language department. So I taught, the girls, well, not the girls only, it was adults, young adults. And some of them, they were like high school dropouts. Nobody had CXC English. So that's what I was teaching. So one of them reached out to me in 2017, and she said, "Miss, you want to go overseas?" I was saying, "You know what? I need a little break." I was going from credit union to credit union, the thing set, right? And I
Yes,
said, "Lord,
yes,
enough is enough. Give me a little break." But I prayed about it too. So it was one of those students, a past student. Right now, she's a teacher and she has her bachelor's. Look at that.
yes,
From no subject to getting her English. And then she went back to Jamaica and did when you have certain experience, like you teach in the basic school for like I think it's 8 years. Once you have English, St. Joseph, your alma mater, will take them in. That's a beautiful
yes.
program. So she went back, and then she got her teaching diploma, and then she did her bachelor's. And now the girl is an author. She writes children's book.
Wow.
Greta Malcolm, big up yourself, Greta. She's the one who sent that link to me. She should be on the
Mhm.
line sometime soon because she said, "Miss me if you come here, come here, come here, come." Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's one of the beauty about teaching. You touch so many lives. Sometimes you don't even remember, but the kids remember. So that is
Hmm.
very good. That's very good. All right. So then you got that insight about teaching abroad in the United States. What was it like for you transitioning from Jamaica to teach in the United States?
Let me tell you something. It was a culture shock, right? One night I was so stressed. I came 2 weeks before my family, because they wanted to come and settle first. I
Yes.
was so, I miss my family so much. I left the key in the door outside. It was when I woke up the morning. Look at God. God protected me. It was when I woke
Yes.
up the morning. I was looking for the car key because the car key and the apartment key was on the same bunch. I me search, me search. I mean, just like a voice said, "Look in the door." Me said, "Do God not tell me that?" I said, "Well, it's too late to say, not tell me that, because I'm alive."
As-
So when I went
Right.
inside, there it was. The transition. Um, it had what you call the first year, especially, is what you call the teething process. It has some little stuff there that you have to navigate and work through. And
Yes.
I got in a few little stuff. I said I had to get to and listen to advice from other teachers who were here.
Yes.
Their teachers who are here were willing to help. But as I said, listen, get the advice and listen and act on it. Because sometimes you give advice and people don't take it. I humbled myself and I followed what I was told. I listened,
Yes.
and that made it a little smoother. Each time it got smoother and smoother.
Yes. All right. So, what were some of the requirements? I know you say you got your North Carolina Forestry Essay Award. I know other teachers who are coming here, they want to know more about, what is there for them, what type of opportunities are there. This is the first I'm hearing about North Carolina Forestry Essay Award, and then the Veterans of Foreign War Teacher of the Year. What exactly is that? And how do teachers who transition to the United States can be selected for some of these or, do some of these things when they are here? Because I'm sure they would like to explore.
Definitely, that's a good question. So the North Carolina Forestry Award, it is a competition that opens up every October during forestry essay week. They can always Google it, North Carolina Forestry. So the information came via email. The principals would share different competitions, and
Mm-hmm.
I entered because I like to try new things, and don't. It's not all about just the three R's that we would say: reading, writing, and arithmetic. You got to be out
Yes.
there and build up your resume. Let your resume look good, okay? And
Yes.
so I saw that, and I was the only person who applied from my school, but there were over 3,500 applicants. So this award,
Wow.
yeah, so they gave you like an essay to write. I think that essay, if my memory serves me well, it was like, what can you do, how to maintain the forest. And so it's a student who entered, but once a student wins, then the teacher gets a scholarship. You go to a big science thing for the summer, hotel paid, top of the line, five-star hotel, and all that good stuff. Unfortunately, because of COVID, they had to cancel the hotel part and stuff. But the teacher, I got money that I could use to help with classroom supplies. So
Right.
it's right, it's a competition. So always check your emails, and they will put stuff out. Sometimes teachers make camera with that. You can't just think about and EOGs at end of year tests only. You got to think
Yes.
about things that can, branch out, be involved in the community. So the other one you
Yes.
asked about was the veterans of foreign war. So the veterans of foreign war, as the name said, veterans who went to war and they come back, they start this association. Every state has it. However, it's one of the veterans who took the application to me on both occasions. So they give the application, you fill it out, not very tedious. They ask for like your resume, they ask what kind of involvement you have in the community. Like I volunteered at the thrift shop that helped to give money to the school. So find ways to volunteer. So those are the things that I'm sure they help to look at to help, decide, who get it. But the first thing is, if without an application, you don't have a chance. So I
Right.
apply. So when you see things, apply.
Mm-hmm. Good. All right. So, what are some of the things as a first year teacher that you would like to share with teachers who might be, transitioning here to the United States? What are some of the expectations of a first year teacher, or things they should or should not do?
Right. So transitioning here to the US, I gave that one about listen, get advice and listen. Teachers are here will guide you. They will, tell you places where you can go and get furniture. Don't rush yourself and try to get a two-bedroom fully furnished in a month. Humble
Yes.
yourself. I've seen people come and they say, I have to get a special kind of car. Humble yourself. After the
Yes.
first thing, you can always pay it off. You go get another one. Just start out small. Make little baby steps. My other advice is have a vision board, and have a big vision board, have a plan. What do you expect to achieve at the end of the 3 years, or if you do the extension 5? I am sure you agree, Dr. Britton. The time flies. Where the time
Yes.
goes, don't ask me. Quick a clock. By the first year's finish, you're like, it's in your second year, you start feel like you know little things. And then the third year comes. Check your account. God knows what you might be in. It depends on you. So you have to be wise. Make baby steps. All right. Another thing I would say, so as I said, know your why and stick to it. Um,
Yes.
Right. Know that at the end of your program, some program coordinators that let you pay for the extension. The one I came on, we had to pay approximately $400. Some programs don't pay, some pay.
Right.
Remember, it's another transition thing. Remember that even though your visa says 3 years, it's not guaranteed. Your principal is the one who has to recommend you each year for your contract to be
Right.
renewed. So work hard. All right? Work hard. Another thing that you have to focus on when you're transitioning is that it is critical to take certain documents, especially if you have children with you. Bring their last report, make sure you take their immunization card, and of course, you'll have their birth certificate with you. Another thing I would say is remember the change of weather. My first year, it was so cold. It was the worst snow we have seen since I'm here. I got acute bronchitis. So
Mm-hmm.
know the weather. Don't take it for granted, especially if you're in North Carolina where the weather flip flop, right? Just take care of yourself and be prepared for that. Another recommendation is that you should do research on the district that you're going to be working for. Look at their curriculum. Try to find out if there are A schools. Some schools are classified as failing schools. Go there, make the difference. Look at what they're using for math. Are they using Eureka? Everything is out there, you know. Find out what the school is using. What are they using for reading? I ready. Do some research. So when you come, everything is not all that new to you. You have some little background knowledge of even the term.
Yes.
Right. Another thing in the transition, you're going to be cognizant that you're going to have several deposits to make. Deposit on housing, deposit on car, deposit on not deposit on car. You have to purchase a car, or if you can carpool, but don't come and expect one person to take you around all the time. After a while, help yourself. You have to get yourself a car, especially
Yes.
here where you are. If in New York you go, good for you, you jump on train and all them stuff. But South Carolina, North Carolina, get yourself a car. You have to think about
Yes.
deposit for utilities, and the deposit is not 10 cents. A dollar is a dollar. It's US dollars, right? So come prepared to pay deposit on light, deposit for water. Some apartments since COVID, when we came, we didn't pay so much. And one more thing to remember: ask for teacher discount. When I came, the apartment that I got, they gave me like a month free. So that's why I chose that one. Do your research, ask for discounts, right? Thanks to my friend Alston. He's the one who did all of that for me because it's overwhelming packing up and you have to, tighten up your things at Jamaica or wherever you're coming from. So get help. He did that for me. And as I said, ask for teacher discount. Another thing, apply for your social security number as swiftly as your program allows you. That's critical. You can't get to do your driving test. You can't get to do anything without your social security number. Some people
Mm-hmm.
fail up there so many times. You're teaching and then you want to go do the test and you're failing. So start studying from Jamaica. Start
Yes.
studying YouTube stuff. I wish somebody told me, oh, that, Dr. Britton, thanks to you, they're getting all these things to help them with the transition. Start
Yeah.
studying for your driving test. It looks simple. Oh, my bright. Some people do it all 4 or 5 times. Right?
Right. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Start studying. When they talk about 3-point turn, it's things that we have done in Jamaica, but we just put our hand on the steering and go so. Right? But here it's different. You got to stop, you got to pull over, look over your shoulder, and all that good stuff, right? Another thing that I would say is I'll do two more. Um, Look at the country you're going, find out if you need to take certain proxy tests, certain tests to get your certification. In one of your programs, I heard you talk about that. Because if the time expires and they say you have to go because you didn't pass it, nobody consult the people them. You were told, no consult the people them. A requirement is a requirement. So once you get through, and let me back up and say congrats to those who get through. It's a beautiful opportunity. All right. But
Yes.
always start your research. Start studying. Everything is out there. Everything. We are living in a technology age. We are all digital citizens these days. Get the information. Book a
Yes.
one-on-one session with you to getting it a little more closer if they want to, but don't take these little things for granted. A year goes swiftly, and you will be overwhelmed when they're calling you and say, "Oh, it's April. You haven't passed one of your tests. What are you going to do
Yes.
when you're there preparing children for end of year exams? You will pop out your hair, and you will get not sick. Prepare,
Mm-hmm.
prepare, get information and prepare. And my final thing with the transition part, you'll tell us about the expectation. Anyway, we talk about that. My final thing with the transition part is seek out opportunities for your child, your biological child. Don't take your child here or children. You're ministering and you're serving others, and your own are being lost. I tapped into the recreational center, the rec center. They have different programs. A little $20, $25. Your son can do basketball. Your daughter can do dancing. Sorry about that alarm. You know, your kids can do dancing. Um, keep an eye on your biological children and watch out for
Yes.
signs of being bullied by adults or even other kids. I had to change my son's class when he went to sixth grade. I had to change my daughter's school, her high school. She did 1 year, and then I sought other high schools that would fit her personality and would help her to achieve. So keep an eye on your own biological kids. Like the Bible said,
Yes.
don't see the others and you become a castaway. Watch out for your two and remind them who they are and whose they are.
So right, so right. So I love that point. I love that last point. You know why? As educators, we are with other people's kids for like most of the day. And then
Mm-hmm.
you are so tired when you get home, sometimes you don't want to see your kids. But we still have
Mm-hmm.
to find the time to make that time for our kids. That is definitely something a lot of us need reminding of because it can become stressful.
There.
You did touch on some very important points for transitioning. I wanted to highlight your light deposit, and people might be wondering what is that? Because when I first got to South Carolina, I did not know if you're going to connect your light, you need to pay a deposit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think they call it a deposit. I think they do it like an average of what the bills usually used to be, an average of what the previous year bill was. And remember, you weren't living in that house, but
Mm-hmm.
whatever that person was paying for the entire year, they asked you to pay an average of that upfront, and you're like, why do I need to pay this? But yes, so similar to JPS where you have to pay that $6,000 for connection is similar to that, but it is in US dollars and it's an average of the previous year's bill. So very important. You did talk about social security number. A lot of teachers do not know the importance of that. So very good for touching on that as well. And if you notice, all these transitioning points that Dr. Thomas gave are basically, or should I say, mainly personal ones when you're transitioning here to the United States. Things you should start think about. She talked about the exams, very important, because a lot of teachers they wait until it's time to transition to from J to H before they start thinking about which exams I need to do. And at that time, it's too late. But very important points. If you want to rewatch this video, make notes of them. Very, very important transitional points. So Dr. Thomas, can you tell us, as it relates specifically to the classroom, what are some of the expectations of a first year teacher entering a classroom in the US for the first time? What is it that the administrators are expecting? And how can they make sure they are successful as a first year teacher?
Right, that's very crucial. So as you said, admin, as I said alluded to earlier, the principal, even though your visa said 3 years, don't be complacent. I have seen. I was just talking about that point with my husband, right? And we counted at least 9 persons who we know who had to go back home, unfortunately, at the end of their first year. So it's very critical,
First,
right?
first
First
year.
year. They had to go back
Wow.
home. Some of them found other ways out, but their contract was not renewed, and the program they don't some of the teachers I'm talking about they're on two separate programs, and neither of the program coordinators helped them to find another job. They had to fend for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
Right.
here in Hollywood they talk about blacklist. Sometimes, unfortunately, some principals blacklist some teachers. So when someone called, how was this and that, Miss Lee, Mrs. Brown, what they give is different. I personally know a teacher, right? The principal gave her a beautiful recommendation. She sent it to me and I shared it with my principal. So because my principal knows my caliber and the work that I put in, I was even on the interview team. I interviewed teachers. I was one of the peer observers. I would observe my own peer and stuff, right? Once she's a Jamaican for interviewing me, always say, Miss, you can't make that one you go. Trust me. I don't know her, but she must bad. That's why she's here, you know? So anyhow, when the principal she assigned another teacher to do the calling, to do the background check with the references. The principal, the result, the comment that the principal gave was opposite of what she wrote. I said, look at that. And the principal didn't take her because of that. Right? So so just do your best. You're not going to as we said, Jamaica, not sell out yourself. Let God, let your work speak for you. Let your work speak.
Yes.
Someone who want to lie and say you weren't so and so when you were, that's up to them. You leave them to God. But do your best.
Right.
Make sure the principal finds favor of you, you know, and they expect you to be happy, have a good personality. You see me, every morning, my song them turn up, right? I gave you two songs to play for whenever you're ready. Just run one of them, okay?
All
My
right.
song, let's run one in the program of nice and different this evening, right?
All
Run
right.
the first one and finish this talk, this point. Run the first one every morning. I have my music up there. Run the one that I said, the last one I gave you. Run that one, right?
Okay.
They want teachers who bring their culture. It's very unfortunate that I remember one teacher in particular. We were there talking about our anthem and our motto because we get nostalgic, and sometimes even we're not nostalgic, we have to big up Jamaica, right? So we're talking about our anthem, and I said to them, this part that says enhancing the welfare of the whole human race. I said, did you know Jamaicans are all over the world? One of my friends went to Japan, and who was the tour guide? A Jamaican. We said, Japan. She said, yes, right? Narda, my friend Narda told me that. Japan, right? So they expect you to share your culture, share your food. If you can't cook, go. Nobody come with you look self who can't cook. Learn to do look curry, look one thing. If you can't even cook, let somebody cook for you and bring it to the school. Share your culture. They expect you.
Right.
It's about teaching, that you're on a program to share your culture. That's the first thing, So share your culture,
Yes.
right? You have a look at Jamaica Day, you put on your culture. Me cook for them, Me cook curry, me cook jerk chicken, so the jerk are in the oven, but it's still good because I'm used to it, right?
Right.
Still, you can do oxtail, but not only because the money stay with oxtail. But they expect you to
Right.
share culture. On a serious note, they expect you to teach with little excitement. My friend Marsha Foley is on the line. Let me share something with Foley, right? One day, because me and Foley, we used to talk about our lessons, right? And Marsha said, what I teach today? Point of view. And you know what she wore? Two separate earrings. Just look at that.
Right.
Creative. They expect you to use the creativity. So when she went now to introduce her lesson, no, Marsha, no, she said, which earring do you think looks better? This one or that one? Two separate earrings. I remember one
Right.
lesson, my very first lesson, because the first observation, listen, that's one that you it will not be unannounced. So if the principal is observing you unannounced, you get time for prepare, how you gonna flop the first lesson? Tell me the truth. No, that's a big turn off.
Mm-hmm.
So they expect
Yeah.
you to be prepared for the unannounced, for the announced rather, and the unannounced.
Mm-hmm.
But at least the announced, them are come. So listen, what was my topic? Let me give you just a little snippet. Right, the topic was about themes, and the poem we were using was sisters. So what I did, I let none of my biological sisters couldn't do it at the time. So I asked one of another teacher that was on the program, can I just think about it in midnight? So cause so you have to think, the thing just come. God just give us that creativity.
Right.
So I said, read this poem for me now. Act like you're my sister and read it. So I said to them, the poem is sisters. Now, my sister who lives in New York, because my sister really live in New York, but in Ghana in bed already, me I call him, I call him, I call him. She fast asleep, right? Big up yourself, Sister Angie. So that teacher now, she read the poem for me. I played it. My sister, the person reading as if it's my sister. And then some part in the thing, no, me I'll play one Whitney. I found the greatest. I mean, grab one boy I love dance, and me and him dancing. Listen, man, when school over here, the principal to the other Jamaicans, boy, I didn't know this other Jamaican, Miss Thomas. No, I thought you ladies were good. And you know what I mean? They expect you to teach creativity, and you are creative. Just at the end of the day, bring your creativity in, be yourself. They want
Yes.
someone who will smile. One more thing before you run that song. There is a teacher who called me one day, right? And she said, look here, Nardia, my principal says he's not going to renew my contract because I won't smile. I don't look happy. Mr. Little girl, change up yourself. And it's the truth, right? I said, doesn't matter what's happening at home, change up yourself. I said, you want to stay? She said, yes. I said, smile. I said, it's the truth. You don't smile. Because we have to be honest. Find someone who will give you genuine feedback. Mister, you don't smile. You ever look like sad puss. Mister, what is your problem again? And then she started. Mister, look at that. You look better. And I said, be deliberate. And so she started smiling, and her contract was renewed. Just for that. It's not that she can't teach. They don't want a sad puss in them building. Be
But that's
happy.
but that's not fair. In my opinion, that's not fair.
That's what I thought. But that's what she
If
said.
I'm te-
Excellent
if I'm
teacher.
a good teacher, if I'm not smiling, why is that a bother?
I'm telling you, that's see what you're saying. We're talking about first year transition. We're talking about
Yes.
expectation. That's what that principal said. And every day me smile. Sometimes I don't want nobody to talk to me. You follow me? But that's what he requires. Yeah. If they put them probably head and me say something like a boy, I say to them, me and him. They're gonna switch up this, that. But switch again. Don't let anybody take away your smile.
You
And
know, I
today
think
he
yeah,
smiles
yeah,
more.
for this, I think we definitely need the first song. I don't think we need the last song because
Let's do the first
why?
one. Yes.
Why? If I
Why?
don't feel like smiling, you're
That's
not
right.
gonna renew my contract because I don't feel like smiling.
I'm telling you, run the first song, darling.
All right.
I'm a guy who lost a bet and my dignity. As if watching my team lose wasn't fun.
So I don't know if it's sounding clear on your side, but it wasn't sounding clear on my end. But
Hear
really
me
and
out.
truly, not. It's not an easy road because Nadia, a
Mm-mm,
principal there,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
mm-mm, But really and truly, though, and I know we might say it's not fair. We might say that, but the truth of the matter is they are looking. They look at every single
Everything.
thing, even
Mm-hmm,
things that you would not think that they're looking at, they're
mm-hmm.
looking at it. So, as a first year teacher, as Nordia, as Dr. Thomas is saying, you definitely need to be on your P's and your Q's. All right. So I saw in the chat that someone I think Follow mentioned that people who just walk in your classroom because they have keys. Can you touch on that for us? Because I'm not sure. Um, People might be coming and not even be sure of the structure of the classrooms. Like compared to our Jamaican classrooms where our doors are always wide open. We're now in a building, mainly in a hallway, and these doors need to stay locked for several reasons. We don't have to go into that, but they are asking that your doors keep locked. But that does not mean people cannot just walk in. How do you tell a first year teacher now to be on our P's and our Q's because she never knows or he never knows when he or she's going to be observed?
Right. Very good point, my darling. So, as I said, normally most schools, I'm talking mostly for North and South America, North and South Carolina, but also in DC, because I did a few weeks in DC, right? You are given, depends after like the first 2 3 years, the number of observation you get is less, right? However, as you said, they come in your class anytime. Do not let anybody come in your class and you're on the phone. I know one teacher who the children told admin that she was always on her phone. I don't know, I'm not in a room, right? And remember also, camera is everywhere. Cameras are not normal in the classroom, but someone told me at a
Mm,
school that I was, that they told them they're going to put cameras in the classroom. So cameras are going in some classrooms now also, right? They can open the door, admin come in at any time, look around, see what's happening. I always tell them, from I'm doing any interview. In my class, you will see things that you think is not organized, but you have what you call constructive chaos. There are kids working in group. I don't have a classroom in the teach AI. I'm in the teach robots, right? So you'll come
mm-hmm.
and you see two over there to do that. You need to use your eyes and look around and see what's happening. Talk to them because you'll have constructive chaos. But at the same time, there are some teachers who, when they go in their class, everybody's doing, children on the computer. I remember one time the county, because you see when you're coming here, no, whatever you don't want your grandmother or your pastor to see you looking at, don't use the school's computer. That's another thing, because they monitor their computers, very high tech. They monitor their computers. So like me, I buy my own Mac Air books, spend a little money, buy your own things, right? They monitor the computers. They will stay at the county. I remember it was a substitute. Thank God it was a trained teacher, even though it could have happened to a trained teacher, because these kids
Yes.
are tech savvy and they will click, click, click. But when I read out the riot act, nobody play with me. Or when me just sit up, me just go touch the history. Me say, look here. Me say, look here. What are you on? I said, no recess, no this, no that.
Mm-hmm.
Loving. My principal always described me as, you correct but lovingly. It's a little girl. It's a princess. Stop playing with me, there. Now make me go to Jamaica for you. Because when I talk pattern, they know say I'm mad me man. I said, the little boy, why mad me that today, in the things, and blah, 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 blah. And when I talk fast, I can't get it. So what are you talking about? I say, you don't want to know. Right? So they will open the door and come in at any time. Make sure you have a rationale for what your children are doing. Have a rationale.
Yes.
They're in groups doing this. It can't just a free for all. Some teachers back home and teachers here do it. Pitney just about anything that nothing constructive. Be true. My
Mm-hmm.
pastor in Jamaica, Pastor Stewart, always said, do not give a six for a nine. There are days when your body might be a little drained, where ladies, things happening, but still it should be constructive. It is not on the
Right.
computer for past time, because they will come in
Yes.
at any time. Right.
Good. So very good points, teachers. Be I don't know about North Carolina, but I can talk about South Carolina. I had the privilege to work with Follow Lee as well, and we sometimes just get tired and overwhelmed with all these observations, and so we had a system. We had a system where we know when they're coming. Just put it that way. So if you're there for a while and you're, coming from the same place, you will develop a system where you know when they're coming, and we alert the others to let them know, because really and truly sometimes it can just be too much. But guys, always be prepared. Always be prepared. Always, as she say, has a rationale of what your kids are doing and why they're doing it, because it's your classroom. So really and truly, they
Mm-hmm.
cannot tell you like this is not supposed to be doing, as long as it's something that is in the curriculum and you can explain why and how they're doing it. You're good to go. You're good to go. All right, so we are almost coming to our question and answer section. Is there anything that would have missed, Nardia, that you'd like to share? um Guys, if you have
Yeah.
questions, go ahead and put those in the question in the comment section, and we're going to get to those shortly.
Right. I see Marsha writing that they usually back off a bit in the second year. Once they know who you are and your results speak for you, after a while they don't even look in your room. Rarely you see them. You understand? There are a few other little stuff I just want to mention quickly. First, your expectations. Check your emails regularly. Teachers get in trouble
Yes.
for not doing that. I got in trouble once for that. They're like, "Did you see the email?" I said, "But I'm teaching." Still expect you to pause, take some time, just so they say, so I said, children, I have to check my email. And you just check it because
Yes.
it's a non negotiable. You have to check
Yes.
your email. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Remember also that reports here, like Jamaica, write reports regularly. They do progress report here every 2 weeks. So guess what? From the get go, if you give a project, give a grade for all them, fix up the cover of the project. For presentation, for participation, get grades in as early as day one. Another
Yes.
thing, build relationship. When the children love you, they will learn. I always tell my friends, children don't like ugly teacher. You see, so you see on me and Marsha, Lord God, Pitney come from out of a kindergarten, come ugly. When you're pretty up yourself, right? Change up your hairstyle. I have witnessed children giving teachers trouble, and the teacher, I hope she's not online, Lord of mercy. All right, let me skip that one. But I have seen children give teachers trouble because the children say, the person not representing themselves well. I have seen children give teachers trouble because they said they wear the same clothes all one pants for the week, two, three times. Don't do that. Don't do that. Fix up yourself, okay? Fix up yourself.
Different.
Change up the hairstyle. I've seen it. So, as you said,
Yes.
I'm sharing experiences. Everything I share with you is something I have
I
seen.
know. Yes.
Right? There are teachers who don't want to shower when they call, and they're funky. What is that? What is that? Represent yourself well. Children like teachers who smell good. One of my friends, Kim, big up yourself, Kim, if you're online, right, Kim? You can smell her perfume from outside. Always smelling good. Children like teachers who smell good and look good. As another thing, build relationship. Treat them
Yeah.
well. They're your clients. They are your clients. Go a dollar shop, buy two little gift for them. Have a little treasure box. Treat them well. Call
Yes.
them with nice names. I said, the girls, I said, princess. All my girls, anybody who know me, they know I love to wear choker, right? This full of excitement. So I'm going to put on none. All my girls, they go
Right.
to Clear, they go to Clears, and they go to Walmart. Everybody in a choker because them teacher in a choker. You understand? Children will model you. And one time,
Yes.
sometimes I see them walking behind just like how I walk, like I'm a British. Then they walk just like me if a smile. They will model you. Another thing, watch behavior management. If you can't control your class, they're not going to renew your contract. 'Cause you can't teach. You cannot teach chaos. You have to
Right.
have good classroom control strategies, classroom control and management strategies.
Yes.
Thing is, communicate regularly with parents. That's critical because they will say, I didn't know they're going to field trip. I didn't know they had homework. So you communicate regularly. All right.
Very.
I'm going to wrap this up now. When the rubber meets the road at the end of the day, teach like how you know how to teach. Teach like the champion you are. Put away all of
Right.
them jazz, all of them excitement, and teach like how you know how to teach. At the end of the day, children are children. They like games and activities. They like fun. So make your classroom interactive and enjoy the journey. It's not all gloom and doom. It's fun. You can go shopping, relax yourself, meet with, have like a little team, a little group, do a little cookouts, do girls
Mm-hmm.
sleep over. And the final thing I would like to say is find a group that you can link with, a spiritual group. If I never fit the church some time ago, not see. But when I go to church,
Yes.
when Holy Ghost turn over. And when I say, Lord, turn over the horse and the rider and all the systems that are behind it. Listen, God turn things over right around.
Mm-hmm.
So don't leave
Yes.
that out of the picture. And you'll have good success. I did say final. I turned me past a final 3 times, but this is final. Remember, you have 2 ears and one mouth for a reason. Sometimes people talk too much. Listen more. Be observant and listen. God gave us
Yes.
2 ears and one mouth for a reason. Shut your mouth and listen.
Shut your mouth and listen. Shut your mouth and listen. All right, thanks for that. I'm gonna play your next song, Dr. Thomas. I want to take the time before we go. We're not leaving, guys. I'm still gonna take your questions. Before we go, I want to take the time to thank Dr. Thomas for coming to share with us her insights on transitioning from your home country to the US, as well as first year expectations for teachers. Very informative, very informative. I'm sure you may know somebody who need this information. Go ahead and share this video with them so they can get that information as well. We are going to take a break for the second selection. Go ahead and put your questions in the comment section while we listen to Northern's second selection.
Empower your students at every stage of the writing process with Grammarly's generative AI. Use it.
All right.
Wow, wow, wow.
Okay, yes. All right, so guys, we cannot play the people them song on the video, so just had a quick snippet. Go ahead and play it for yourself and listen to it and move. But yes, those were Dr. Thomas' selection for today, guys. It's not an easy road, but look at me now. Look at me now. Okay? Very powerful songs. All right, guys, if you have any questions for Dr. Thomas, go ahead and put those in the comment section below. Let me take the time also to congratulate her for getting her doctorate last year, 2023, curriculum and instruction from the American College of Education. Congratulations, Dr. Thomas. Guys, you can do it too. I'm tired of saying it. Do not take up on yourself, come to the UF with your bachelor's degree and leave, go home with the same credential. Come on, man, we can do better than that. We can leave with even a master's. And if you came with a master's, then leave with your doctorate or your EDS if you don't want to do a doctorate, because not everyone wants to do a doctorate. Okay, EDS, your education specialist, EDS, yes. All right, good. All right, guys, any questions? Go ahead and put those. Do they mind or accent? If both thing has been asking if they mind or accent. Can you address that, please, Dr. Thomas?
All right, very good question. Um, or accent is who we are, right? The other day I was in a group, with Kathy Tandede. I keep that local connection, right? And one of our friends' daughters, who is in Virginia, she was in a play. But to the children, they will catch on to the American accent because that's what children are. When they go to school, they will learn it quickly. As for me now, as I just talk regular, right? But some of the words that we pronounce will be different. I remember, like, sometimes, the kids would say, I say, who wants to go to breakfast? Somebody said breakfast. I said breakfast. I said, you spell breakfast. I know break fast. So you be gentle with them, but at the same time, that's your accent. When I'm doing a spelling test, if there's a word that they pronounce different, I will let somebody who I look at their paper and say they got it right already, or not really right, but like I say the word and somebody say, what did you say? I said, Marlon, you call that word that I just said. And we say it's the same thing. When they don't study a spelling words, they chat about accent. They say accent about starting with me today. It's the same thing. Right? So they will try to use a little funny stuff on you about accent, no accent. Right? Kathy did said no twing. That is her new coin. No twing. I just thought normal is English. But they will try to use little stuff and say, I didn't know how you pronounce the word because your accent. Me say I never study it. And I just draw out my evaluation. But me say last week I get 40, the week before 25. Me say nobody start with me. You heard what I said. I said supervise. That's not pronounced any other way, but supervise. So they will try that.
Right.
So the adults, the principal, they don't mind it. They know. So what we do, we try to talk a little slower so to make sure they get it. Count your words, baby, right? But you talk a little slower. And after a while, they will get it. Because, for example, where I am, the second grade teacher is a Jamaican, one of the second grade teachers. I am the third grade teacher. The fourth grade teacher is Jamaican. The fifth grade teacher is Jamaican. They can't tell about accent. Because they're going from one, it's pure Jamaicans. So no
Right.
accent. No accent. Because they're used to us by now. Some of them, they will even know what you're talking. So when you're around them and the adults, be careful because they understand what we're saying more and more because a lot more of us are here. So be
Mhm.
careful.
I just want to add to that. Definitely. Um, in the beginning, a lot of them will pretend or
Mhm.
I don't want to say it negatively, but they will act as if the way you speak is the first they're hearing it. It doesn't sound good and they cannot understand what you're saying. But as not as Dr. Thomas said, you have to know how to be gentle with them. I know at my current school, my colleagues, they still what sometimes I say some words and they would laugh and say, what, like I say, resources. They always say I'm saying resources wrong. And other words that I might say, they might say I'm not saying it properly. And I'm like, oh, whatever. Do you know what I mean though, right? Do you know what I mean? From you know what I mean, then that's what I'm talking about. But that's just us. So I don't know. We just have to leave it that way. And as she said, see if you can talk slower, but that's your accent and that's you. All right. Somebody was asking, Stone Girl, big up. Somebody was asking, I saw a question. When did you start teaching in the USA?
Right, I started 2017. August 17, 2017.
Mhm. Are there any teaching methods or practices from Jamaica that you found particularly effective in engaging students in the USA?
Right. Basically, everything that we do in Jamaica, I just bring them
Mm-hmm.
all over here. Every single thing. I remember
Mm-hmm.
when you're doing maths, you can draw the, we call it hopscotch. You draw the hopscotch around and you can put different numbers. You put 2, 4, 6, 8. You can put different timetables in it. All our games in Jamaica, you use it. You know, when you do the hand like this, two ones, two, you, everything. You bring your ring games, you bring everything from Jamaica right here. As I said before, at the end of the day, they have a lot of different terms and acronyms that can overwhelm you. In my first year, I said, look here, who am I? I reminded myself who I am. I said, me just put on somebody what a jazz and I just go back to the basic and just teach back
Right.
to the basic.
Mm-hmm. All right. See if I see any more. What is the salary like, starting at the lowest to the highest salary point?
Right. So if you Google, it depends on which state you're in, right? For North
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, the basic salary I think is like is it, and Dr. Britton, you could help me. It starts at like 34 for like first year persons.
For North, I know for South it's like 44. I don't know if North is that cheap. Is it that low?
Everything is
I
right
know
here
in
in my
South it's
desktop.
like 44.
Everything is right here in my desktop. Let me double check. NC teacher
Okay.
salary. I never started at the very bottom, so I'm not 100, but yeah, it's right here, my desktop. Yeah, see, let me write it here. So for North Carolina, I can talk for that. It depends on where you're going. You can Google it, right? If you have a bachelor
Mm-hmm.
in North Carolina, that's it starts at 39. And if you have what is called NBPTS, that's National Board Certificate, you
Mm-hmm.
will get more. So the bachelor's, that's how low the bachelor starts at 39 annual. So as I tell you, see what I'm telling you, look at the price. That's for no experience. Some teachers come in here. If you're like, let's say if the person could type in what's their year of experience, their years, and I could give them a better, like an exact amount. All right, let's say it's
Right.
15 years of experience. It starts at $53,060. They would not have the national board. So I won't read that side for them because they wouldn't have that yet. Right. So let me start again. So from zero experience right down to 10 is 48,430. From 11 years to, let's do 24 years, it is $53,060. 25 years over is 55. That's a bachelor's. Let's go to the master's. From 0 to 6 years is 49,290, and 7 years to let's see, 24, up to 24, it's 58,370, and if you have 25 years up, it's 60,000 and 10. And that also, if you have a doctorate, is going to go up more. Okay. Yeah, doctorate go up to 68,048. But bear
Let
in
me ask
mind, bear in mind one
let me
thing.
ask a question
hmm
before you go any further. In North Carolina, I heard that they don't pay for masters. Is that
Right.
correct? So that
That
means you don't get paid for your doctorate either?
No, that's not correct. So you have to have your master's from 2012, before 2012, right? And for the doctorate now, you apply for what is called, what did I have to fill out? You go to the NCDPI and you fill out what is called grad pay, and then you get extra pay for your doctorate.
They
Grad pay.
don't pay so they don't pay for the masters, but if you do your doctorate, then they'll bump your pay up for a doctorate
Women, they
salary.
pay for masters, but you have to have your masters before 2012. I had my
So
master's in 2007. So I on the program they didn't pay me for it. They said something mix up, right? But if I went
mhm,
to a different county, that's another story. But they pay for your masters once you have it before 2012. Before.
mhm.
And then when you have a doctorate, you have to apply for what is called grad pay, and you get extra.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Diane is asking, and I have something on the screen from Diane as well, but she's asking, how do you balance work and life? N- Work and life, knowing how time consuming planning and work can be.
What a good question. Let me tell you, you have to practice what is called self care and self compassion. Be compassionate with yourself. You work hard all the time. If your body feel like say it a broke down, take a day. You're given days. I wrote that down. Self care. Your teachers who I don't know which award them I look
Stop,
for.
stop,
Wh- Yes, ma'am.
repeat, repeat. Do what? Do what?
Take a day for
Okay.
yourself. There are teachers we have lost. I know of two teachers that we have lost who came on programs, and I'm sure you heard about them, Dr. Britton, who we have lost. One was in South Carolina. They found her in her
Mm-hmm.
apartment. She was the first to reach a school every morning and the last
Mm-hmm.
to leave. Don't do that, Jazz Boo Boo. Self
I
care.
don't. Thank you.
When I ready, I pack my bag and I one time, Lord, I hope nobody not tell the principal this. Hey, 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 hey. Anyhow, I'm in a car. So when I ready, I gone to some little 1 year I went to Florida. You had something known as meet and greet. Pure Jamaicans, and when you am axilla we dance, girl, they call me the dancing queen because I get down very low. It was gospel. So nobody judge me now, you know. No, when Marsha had her birthday party, she said, "Come and MC my birthday party." I'm gonna go to Marsha party, and girl, I can't let my pastor hear some of those songs. I dance, girl, but I gotta relax, okay? And
Right.
you have to practice self care and self compassion. You're not getting no
That's
water
true.
every year. You go on school every day. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're destroying yourself. The Bible, God,
Yes.
I'm not a Sabbath keeper, but the principle of it is you work for 7 days, you have to rest, you know. Practice self care. So,
Yes.
practice self care. Take time. You're giving up to 12, 10 days, right? Use it. You're not gonna
Yep.
absent 3 times in a week. Balance out the thing. Take a half day, take a full day, practice
Mm-hmm.
self care. The end of the day, I said we lost two teachers. Please, I tell myself I shall not be a statistic. No,
No. No. Mm-mm.
no.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm,
And Diane who
mm-mm,
asked that question, she already know. She already know. So,
mm.
Dr. Thomas, Miss McDonald from Windward Primary says, well done. She's in the comment section.
God be the
Um,
glory.
and next person is asking, how do you stay connected to your Jamaican heritage while living and teaching in the USA?
That's very easy. Just don't throw it away. You keep you talk your patter with your friend them. I like to teach in schools where Jamaicans are. Cause when we meet, we go down deep, you know. And if I don't want nobody to know what I'm talking, all if me I say she, me say him. Me say him no easy that time I she me a talk. You follow me? We dig deep, you know. We're gonna send it little bit, you know, right? So you have keep your Jamaican connection. Have your friends. I'm still in a group. I see some of them on it. Shana Banana, big up yourself. I see Stone. I am Cathy, Minister Cathy Tandede. We are in a group that we share and we celebrate each other. If something is not going right, I say, guys, this is happening to Tijan. He's not feeling well. Pray for him. I talk to
Mm-hmm.
friends who are in Jamaica same way. Sometimes I tune in my services in Jamaica. At the church where I attend, Jamaicans are there. They welcome us. I had to change shirt. If you have to change shirts, change. Do not stay anywhere where you're not comfortable. No.
Yep.
Change. How many schools I said I've taught here now? Four.
4.
I don't play games. If I'm not comfortable, so long, bye bye. That's another song you could play. So long, bye bye, and I'm gone. You know who
Mm-hmm.
you are, you're valuable. They need you. Maintain your mental health. I shall
Yep.
always be in a good place with my mental health. Laugh. I
Mm-hmm.
just go watch Miss Pearlie grandson on him Facebook things and man laugh. Right? The Bible
Yes.
laughter is good medicine. One time my son said, and I shared this on another program that I was on, is he following the children at school, but if you beat me, they all call social service. They say, hey, call who? I said, I will take you to Jamaica. Don't we little the immigration section, deal with your case, okay, and take by the same flight and come back up. And he
Right.
never said it again. Remember who you are, who you
Mm-hmm.
are. Who they talk, they this and that. When you're at home, the order of the day, we go down in a Jamaican and with patois. And we don't have a
Right.
problem right in English. I got a special award from the University of Miami for my writing style. Not because I talk pot, I mean I know English. Miss Lou make you know that
Mm-hmm.
language. Miss Lou tell you
Right.
tell about it with the crap. Okay? Enjoy your culture, share it, and walk with your head up. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Walk with your head
Mm-hmm.
up. I want and answering that question. I asked my yesterday I went to a women's tea. Oh my god, it was beautiful. I had on a feather hat, like a feather band, doing all that. Find places to go where you meet with other people and relax. The
Yes.
pastor's wife, she wrote a poem. I want to read just the first line of the poem. So you have to talk to yourself. That's how you keep your culture too. Talk to yourself. The poem is chosen and it's written by Frances S.J. Sweeney. She said, I am a woman of excellence. Talk to yourself. If any male is on, just substitute and say man. First class, grade A, prime, royal, fine quality, superior, and stunning. I'll stop right there. Know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
We're Jamaican.
Yes.
We are here to enhance the welfare of the whole human race. Walk with your head up, preach up yourself, nice up yourself, right? Cook big pot and relax.
Mm-hmm. All right. So my Guyana friend here, Mentor Java, is asking, what should we tell new teachers about rules and procedures? Thanks for joining, Java. I hope I
Right.
said it right.
I was reading a chat about Tande's birthday. Happy birthday, Kathy. Could you repeat the question again? They distracted me.
What should we tell new teachers about rules and procedures?
Right. Rules and procedures are critical. Is that for the students? I guess they're talking about the students, right? So what I do is you set up your classroom rules. Dr. What's his name again? Dr. Brad Johnson. I follow him. And he says that where your classroom has proper structure, you don't even need to put up rules. But some schools want to see it. You put it up in the initial stage, like the first 2 weeks. If you get those rules in the first 2 weeks, teach rules, teach procedures, don't start teaching the curriculum yet. When it's time to go to recess, what do? We stand. When we're walking the corridor, we walk on the right side. That's so they walk here on the right, they drive on the right, walk on the right. There are different points where you stop. Your class should not exit the room in chaos. I'm talking about elementary, especially. The high school, they do things different than the middle school, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so you use the first 2 weeks and you instill those rules and procedures. Once you do that, they have order. You don't have to talk to nobody. When you come in the morning, first thing you put your homework in that bin that's labeled homework over there. You put your bags in your cubbies. You take out your morning work, or I always put like what I'm doing for the day on the board. Your daily plan. You could some schools or classes. I use Google Classroom too. They go in Google Classroom. They know after I ready for the first 15 minutes, then they do their math drill, or if it's reading time, they do their silent reading, or they have different things doing morning work. When test time, you might switch it up. But once they know the structure, you have to have structure. Children like structure too, and no child likes chaos. Ask them. So, which one do you prefer? A class where everybody do what they want, or a class where there is order? Everybody going to say order. I say, you say order, and you don't like order? I said, thank you. No, I want my class in order. You lift out your chair, you stand behind the chair, you wait until I say so, da 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 da. So they sell little cheap dollar lights at dollar shop. You click on some lights. Some teachers like those things. They use lights to say when the light is on, it means no one talks. There are little simple drills that I do, like you put your hands up. I say hands up, and then and say waterfalls, and they do this shh, and then it's very quiet. Hands up, waterfalls, shh, and it's quiet. So you do things like that. You are the manager of your class. The principal is not in charge of your class. You are in charge. So make sure you have your structure, have order. If you have chaos and you don't have classroom control, here Jamaica don't fly no more. But you go and find one, unfortunately.
Um, I think, do they consider your experience in Jamaica when paying?
Some programs do not, some do. So I won't call out the programs name online. If they want to know, they would have to talk to you one on one, right? The program that I came on, they did not. But the school that I am at, so this is one thing to know, right? And I wish someone told
Mm-hmm.
me earlier, but I got it
Mm-hmm.
in time to save me so I didn't lose any money for the new school that I'm on, that I'm at.
Right.
Um, in some schools, some counties rather, they will, the program will pay you, and some counties will, but you have to do what is called um what they call it, yeah, like you years of experience. That's the term. I don't remember
Yeah,
the
the
term.
verification letter.
That's it. Now you got it, girl. I tell I said them to talk to you one on one. The verification letter, you send to Jamaica and you get it done. You don't have to let ministry sign it, because you know ministry will take the whole year. Your principal
Mm-hmm.
will sign it for you. And once you upload that, you pay $60. That's for North Carolina. They will pay you. So I get paid from the day I left Teachers College. I get all my salary for my, this is my
Wow.
28th year, and I get paid for all of it. Send to Jamaica. God bless Miss Leslie. I didn't have to send to ministry. The principal of Calabar Infant Primary and Junior High. Big up yourself, Mrs. Leslie. When the children say,
Mm-hmm.
wow, it's fashionable, I said, I'm just modeling my principal in Jamaica, Principal Leslie. So she signed that for me. And I get all my pay from the day I left Shortwood. I'm being paid
Mm-hmm.
all those years. Some counties don't do it, but you have to. You know what they told me once? I was supposed to go to South Carolina. Marsha is online to tell you, and they said, "Well, your certificate only says 3 years." I said, "Ma'am, you know I'm not cheating for 3 years. Why are you going to use my they accept your degree, right? She said you got it in
Yes.
this year and you're qualified. But when time to pay, you don't want to use just what's on the certificate." I said, "No, ma'am, I can't accept that job." Right? So I did not.
Right.
I did not, because I'm not going to do that. Give up so much years.
No.
No, 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 no. And after we could add it on after you do the proxies or blah blah blah. I said no, thank you. You can't survive on that. No. So I said no, no, thank you. You know, respectfully,
Mm-hmm.
no. Their loss, not mine. So do
Right.
the verification letters as soon as it's time before you transition. Don't wait long, because here it takes 4 months to get it done. I got it done right in time to get my correct pay.
Right. Mm-hmm. Do you think computers and robots will be teaching students in the U.S. public schools in the foreseeable future?
That's one thing with teaching. You can't substitute. They can have little, like they have programs I ready where they teach, but you can never substitute the face-to-face one-on-one teacher and students. Rest assured, they can never substitute that. Mm-mm. They will use them to do some stuff, but not to teach, like wholesale, taking over the whole classroom. They pitting them with a mash at the robot themselves.
Mm-hmm. Can you do your master's while teaching?
Definitely. Definitely. I have had friends from my old school in Jamaica who I recommended to go to do their masters. And they want, you can accelerate it. In a year, you can finish that master's. You finish. One finish and the other one soon finish. So I have two graduations to attend. next year. I told one teacher once, I said, Miss, now come here like Johnny Cake and just sit down like dumpling. She said, but North Carolina don't pay for me say don't pay for master. Me said North Carolina, your life end? Really? Wow. Don't be so narrow minded. But if you so inclined like you don't want to study anymore, that's your choice. Remember, I started with know your why. Know your why. So why are you here? What do you want to accomplish? I came here. I said I want everything, and I want my children to get everything. And to God be the glory. My husband, because he wants his own business and he's working on it. We are here to get everything, boo boo. Everything. We're here to drink milk, not to count cows.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Well, I think that's the last questions I did manual teaching oral based on the program you're on. Do not let your sponsor program. Do not let your sponsor program. Don't do not let them know that you're doing it. Some sponsors are telling people not to study.
Wow.
Well, okay. All right, guys. I think we've come to the end. We want to take the time to thank Dr. Thomas to come and share with us this evening. It was a very informative, vibesy interview. I'm sure those who are going to be transitioning here to the United States in summer of 24 will have learned something from this live. If you know somebody who got a job, you need to share this live with them so they can get their paper and their pencil and write the notes down on things to do and not to do, and how they're going to smile every morning when they enter into their buildings because they want their contracts to be renewed. Thank you very much, Dr. Thomas. I appreciate you coming and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. We're going to
Thank
wrap up,
you for
guys. So if
having
you have any
me.
final words, go ahead and put those in the comment section. I still love you guys. God bless you all. Oh, one thing. Somebody was asking for you to sing.
Oh,
Diane was asking that your boss had one tune. She said you had a good voice.
what you want me to sing?
Diane, drop your selection in the comment section below.
Quick, quick.
Diane gone.
Right. Stone,
I
yes,
think I
Marshall,
witness it. I
Velvet.
think I witness the. I think I witness the way you drop turn. She said anything. I think I witness the. I think I witness the guitar man.
All right, let me see. Let me see. Um, I'd asked you to do a song first. Let me do that one. No, no,
Okay.
let me do this one. Always go back to Victory is my name. I'm trying to think of this one by Marvin Providence. What's the song again? Oh my god, I sing it all the time. I can't remember that one. Oh, let me just see one. See what the Lord has done. See what the Lord has done. Na 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 na. I've come to see. See what the Lord has
Well,
done.
it's a bossa gospel.
That's right. That's my root. It's all
Bossa
about Jesus.
gospel.
To God be all the glory. Love you
Praise
guys.
be to God. All right, bye guys. See you next
Thank you for having
time.
me, Dr. Britton. All right, love you.